What's going on, people? It's your boy Astro, aka the Galaxy Shogun, and as you can see, I am back in my studio, and I want to talk some One Piece today. It's been too long. Holy crap, does it ever get hot here. I guess there's not really AC in this room, so, my only option is to turn on the fan, which could be a bit loud, so, I'll make the sacrifice for the quality of the video to sweat my balls off a little bit here, but anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. Elbaf. Wow, Elbaf. We've been in this arc for roughly 2-ish years now, I believe, and I think, it'd be pretty good to give my thoughts on this so far. I don't know if a lot of people know this, because, I guess I haven't really directly said it in a video before, but I generally prefer Wano to Egghead. And I know right now I'm getting a lot of, crazy reactions to that, probably. You prefer Wano over Egghead? And frankly, yes I do, because in short, I think that Wano was an arc that gave the fans everything that, they wanted, that, One Piece had been criticized for in the past. It's definitely not a perfect arc, but in comparison to some actual story plot points in Egghead, I definitely do prefer Wano, but that's a little besides the point. Going into Elbaf, a lot of people assume this would be a very Usopp-centric arc. And I love Usopp. Don't get it twisted, he's an interesting character, he's a relatable character, but, I didn't think we'd be getting as much as we are getting. We got the Holy Knights, we got Shamrock, we got, Loki with probably a super OP busted fruit, we still don't know, but with this flashback it seems like we're gonna get closer to said answer. More lore, we got the Harley text, finding out about the previous editions of the One Piece world and possibly previous reincarnations of Joy Boy. This is pretty insane. We got Emu literally pulling up, Brook knowing one of the Holy Knights. I think it's fair to say that Elbaf has kind of went in a direction that nobody really expected. And I say that in the best way possible, because we saw Roxy Zebek. I know I haven't updated anything on One Piece for a long while, but bro, we know how Zebek looks. And to make it even crazier, he is Blackbeard's father. Now, of course, Blackbeard had to ship the Saber of Zebek. Of course, that was a theory a lot of people had for a while, but what I did not expect was one side of Zebek's face looking like Blackbeard and the other side looking like a certain clown. So that's probably a video on its own. I'm definitely on team Zebek is also Buggy's father, but besides that, we're getting flashbacks with the Kuja pirates after this chapter. We're finding out that there's kind of a love, I don't even want to call it a triangle, it's like a love octagon with everybody in Shaki and Gloriosa liking Roger, and it's just kind of nuts to see. The Giga Chad Rayleigh pulls out the baddie in the end, which, to be fair, all the Kuja pirates were baddies, so Roger, you definitely could have done well with Gloriosa, especially, with all the respect, how great she was looking back then. I think it would have been a win either direction, but, it's cool to see a character like Roger getting more depth and us learning more about him. And it's really weird, actually, if I do want to make a critique and kind of talk down to the fandom a bit as a One Piece master. I ironically call myself that. I mean, One Piece, that's kind of cringe if I was really going to call myself a One Piece master, isn't it? But I don't know, we'll let you decide that. But anyways, I think that, a lot of the community is harping on Roger for being a simp. He's a pirate, he likes women, sue him, she's super beautiful, Shaki. I don't think that this is a neg to Roger at all. I think this is slightly a Sanji upscale. As a shameless Sanji agenda fan, I'm saying this is kind of an upscale, because we kind of see that Roger's a conqueror, and a lot of people would make the argument that Sanji couldn't be a conqueror, given how he acts towards females and stuff like that, which I never really saw the correlation to that, but now we know that that's debunked, given that Roger kind of shares some of those same characteristics as well as Gabon, so that's really cool to see. But, overall, geez, we're getting stuff with Elbaf lore, Harley text, stuff kind of tying back to the Void Century, Joy Boy, the Sun God, the original Sun God Nika. It's holy smokes, this arc has been phenomenal so far. I would say this is head and shoulders above Egghead so far. And mind you, it's not as if I hate Egghead. Egghead had great moments, but my biggest criticism with Egghead is the best things happen outside of the actual island. The fight with Luffy and the Gorosei and the stuff he did, especially with the Kizaru, I didn't personally think that was, too much to write home about, but the stuff to write home about in Egghead was definitely, the kid getting annihilated by Shanks, or, the Garp stuff. That stuff was definitely super cool and interesting, and obviously Bonnie's backstory was good too, and Kuma's backstory, but, overall, just the direction that ended in, I didn't like. So, what I'll say overall for Elbaf, we got the Holy Knights in play, we got the Giants in play, we got Galila, which is apparently the frozen giants we might have saw in Punk Hazard. It's like, where does it go from here? Like, I think a lot of people at the start of Elbaf were kind of turned off by the whole Lego stuff and Road and all the BS he was doing, but it's like, we're really getting into it, and I gotta say, Oda, man, 28 years, I picked this up when I got back, 28 years, of just being the GOAT, almost passing Superman, which, that warrants a video on its own. 578 million sold to Superman's 600 million. Like, that gap is going to be closed very soon. Already, if we're counting, authors that, like, single authors, because Superman in comics, they obviously have a whole bunch of different authors. If we're counting just a single author, One Piece is already at the top by far, but, the fact that it's going to take, even Superman with multiple authors, and that's been there for almost like 50 years more than One Piece. It's kind of crazy, but as a One Piece diehard, I expected that, not surprised. But definitely seeing the update that we were that close already was like pretty yeah, it's really picking up steam, it's really picking up popularity, and what would my hopes be for the rest of this arc? I hope that we finally get God Valley. We're getting little sprinkles of it between Egghead, Wano, all that stuff. I hope that we finally just kind of see what happens. Again, we're seeing Roger's crew, we're seeing Rocks, we're seeing the Rocks pirates, we're seeing Wang G, Wang Z, sorry, not Wang G, how dare I, Wang Z. Ochoku, we're seeing, who probably is Caribou's dad, by the way, Tekking. I don't know where you're seeing Gecko Moria there, but yeah, we're getting a lot of great stuff, so I'm definitely enjoying Elbaf. I just want to say that this so far has been one of my favorite arcs, especially post-time skip. It definitely stands above Egghead for me. Will it be better than Wano at the end of the day? Unlikely, just because for me, Wano was very significant in the way of Luffy finally being revealed as, Joy Boy, and having the Sun God Nika fruit, and the fights, and the animation, and all that. Obviously, the animation Elbaf's pretty insane too, but yeah, just in closing, I want to say that I'm very excited for what's to come next. I hope that we get some more information on the Holy Knights, the top buff hockey that beats them, maybe we find out about the man marked by flames, but the fact that we got Zebek's face reveal, and the fact that he's Blackbeard and probably Buggy's father, is enough for me to go, wow. So anyways, if you want to hear more about Zebek possibly being both Blackbeard and Buggy's father, please click this video, because I will be uploading that video right now. Peace out, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. It's been your boy Astro. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. See ya.
Do it!